Hey guys, welcome to the video for Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree. My name is Ventus. In this Elden Ring build video guide, I'm going to give you my updated Shadow of the Erdtree build for the WATCHDOG'S Heavy Greatsword. The WATCHDOG'S Heavy Greatsword is a colossal weapon that you can get from any of the stone watchdogs found in various caves and catacombs throughout the mountaintops of the Giants. The weapon originally has a C scaling in strength and an E dex and requires 30 strength and 10 dex to use. In this video, I have mine applied with the Shadow of the Erdtree Ash of War called Savage Lion's Claw set to the Heavy Affinity, which raises its strength scaling to S. The Savage Lion's Claw is a skill that deals several jumping attacks back to back and is an upgraded form of the original Lion's Claw from the base game. For my finger seal, I'm using the basic finger seal that you can purchase at the Round Table Hold. For armor, I'm using the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC set called Rakshasa. This armor set comes with the ability to increase damage output, but also increases the damage that you take. But honestly, the increase in damage is worth the risk. For talisman with this build, I'm using the Claw Talisman to enhance jump attacks, the Assassin's Crimson Dagger that restores HP on critical hits, the DLC Talisman Blade of Mercy that raises attack power after a critical hit, and for the fourth talisman, I leave optional for either defense or more attack power, but mostly it's for extra defense when using the Rakshasa armor set. In the mixed Physick, I have the Opaline Hard tier to boost all damage negation and the Stone Barbed Crack tier to make stance breaking easier. When it comes to spells, I'm using the incantations for Golden Vow for extra attack and defense, Flame Grant Me Strength for more physical affinity attack power, Giant's Flame Take Thee for offense, as well as Ancient Dragon's Lightning Strike. When it comes to my stats, I'm on New Game Plus 3, and this is how I have my stats allocated. My Vigor is at 80, Mind is at 60, Endurance is also at 80, as well as Strength also at 80. Dexterity is 12, Intelligence is 9, Faith is going to be 30, and Arcane is 9. Now, the reason why I have my stats this way is basically put so I can deal more damage. Now, I'm aware of the negative gains past certain stat points, soft caps and hard caps, but regardless of all those caps, you still do get gains, even if small ones, past certain scores, especially with the first three stats, Vigor, Mind, and Endurance. The higher you have these stats, the more those bars gauging your character's abilities will grow. It was important to me to have a high vigor because Elden Ring bosses can hit hard at times, and using the Rakshasa armor set, I wanted to be able to take a hit without jumping into panic mode. My mind could stand to be a little bit lower, but I wanted to be able to spam skills without ever needing to hit an FP flask mid-fight. Endurance is at 80, so I can spam heavy attacks longer because using heavy attacks and skills takes chunks away from your green stamina bar. And honestly, having strength at 80 was because I wanted my attacks to end fights quickly. As for the other stats, they are all at their minimum because they're not used, except for Faith, which is at 30, because of a few incantations that I do like to use. Now, when it comes to fighting things with this build, the idea is simple. Do enough damage to the boss's invisible stance break meter so they quickly become crippled so I can hit them with a critical attack and make use of the talismans that I have equipped that activate upon critical attacks. The Assassin Crimson Dagger gives you a burst of health back when you land a critical attack, and the DLC Blade of Mercy raises your attack power at the same time. So in essence, I wanted a bit of a power-up reward for beating the crap out of a boss to end the fight quicker. Bosses are more easily stance broken by jumping attacks from Colossal Swords, so normal jumping attacks with the WATCHDOG'S Greatsword set to the Heavy Affinity combined with the Stone Barbed Crack tier is enough to do the trick in a few jumping attacks. But add in the Savage Lion's Claw, where you do several jumping attacks in a row in very fast succession, bosses are stamina broken almost immediately with this build. Using this build, I was able to destroy the less aggressive bosses in mere seconds. The last build I showcased on this channel was the dual-wield Elianor's Pole Blade, and that build shredded bosses' health bars faster than anything that I've ever seen. And this build comes pretty close to dealing the same damage just as fast. The only difference with this build is I would sometimes take damage more often than I would with the Pole Blades, which is why I had to add the extra defensive measure by needing to make my vigor so high so that I could stand to take a hit if need be. Try this build out and let me know what you think. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them down in the comments. My name is Ventus. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a great rest of your day. Peace out.